Have you found yourself stuck in the weeds, trying to get to paradise?
What does prosperity actually mean? And paradise actually mean?
Could mean a lot of different things.
What does it mean with your health? What does it mean with your wealth? What does it mean with your relationships? Prosperity, or paradise, I guess they both go together.
Prosperity.
Paradise is a big word. Prosperity is a big word. But what does it mean specifically with those three things? Your health, wealth, and your relationships. When it comes to your wealth, trying to get to paradise is what everybody's trying to do. Everything's created out of abundance and for abundance. And so we're always chasing money and great ideas, trying to get to what we think is the pot of gold at the other end of the other side of the rainbow, the promised land, or the just the richness of life, or trying to get to where we have riches, where we feel abundant, where we experience abundance that allows us to do what we want, go where we want, experience whatever we want. And so we continue to chase that, but we end up not releasing the full, real, true richness that's built in us. So what does that mean to you? What it means to us is when you do release that richness, it will propagate the rest of your life, because you'll be transacting your value, and other people will want to exchange value with you in order to be a part of what you're doing, or be a part of what you offer, or be a part of the things you're creating in life, that you're co-creating with the Creator. And so prosperity and paradise kind of go together. When you say they go together,
sure.
as you know, together, just like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. If you found a pot of gold, that's paradise to you. So as you release that richness, that's where paradise is. And so oftentimes we can get stuck in the weeds, like we're in now.
Yes, like we are in now.
Stuck in the weeds. We're not really stuck, but we're standing in the weeds, and we're kind of in the middle of nowhere in these weeds. And it can be daunting. This can be also like the situation like where you say can't see the forest from the trees. We can't see the weeds from the path, or
you get stuck in them, and you really can't find a way out because there's weeds all around.
Yeah. And so you can get stuck in the weeds in your health. You can get stuck in the weeds in your relationships and in your wealth, trying to get to the paradise. And so, what is the paradise you're trying to get to with your health, with your wealth, with your relationships? What does that look like, and what do you want to experience?
Whatever that paradise or that prosperity is, the most important thing is continuing to step into what it is that you want.
Continue to go forward.
Yes. And so we're going to go forward through our weeds here that we have in front of us to see where it leads us, where our paradise is on the other side of the weeds.
But we're not just randomly going to just end up wherever, which is where most people end up, and that's not a negative. That's not a negative. So if you have a pathway, if you have a roadmap, if you have a direction you're pointing your ship toward, you can end up at that destination. You can end up at that destiny. And we're trying to adjust the camera. And so being clear about what you want to experience, what Julie just said a second ago, of where you want to go in life and what you want to experience. And especially if time and money didn't matter,
yes.
What could I experience? What would be the thing that makes me come alive? What would be the thing that puts a skip in my step, that causes me to catch fire and invigorates me?
Excited for life.
Those things are very key, important things that we've used for many years of helping people to understand going toward that destination that they truly want to experience, which is what actually makes them come alive. We're already all doing that anyway, all of us, every person in the world. It's just our vision is not as our ability to dream big gets stifled. Let me say it that way. and we get stuck in the weeds. And we stop dreaming, and then we get into this place where we kind of just end up wherever, and we allow our ship to just kind of float around. And so having a plan to understand that you're infinitely rich and learning how to release that richness so that you can go create the life, design and create the life you truly want to experience, and not be a product of life, a product of circumstances, but be able to create that life and have it come into reality, come into manifestation, come into a tangible form. But and keep in mind, we're already doing that anyway to some degree, but we leave 99% of our potential on the table because we don't learn how to release our infinite richness. So we end up getting stuck in the weeds, which is why we're here today.
Yeah.
We get stuck in the weeds because we don't really know where we're going. We have an idea that we're going, to and fro work and hanging out with our friends and maybe, on an excursion or to a show or out to dinner or
concert,
doing stuff around the house or any of those number of things. And we just end up being a product of all those things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But how much more do you want to experience? And what actually do you want to experience?
Yeah.
And so we often, all of us, try to obtain and acquire what we would call prosperity or paradise, but we get stuck in the weeds. And so we just want to encourage you to continue to go forward, doing what you love, that can help you get to that prosperity. Man, there's a lot
tough
of weeds.
You get tangled up. Just tangle up in your feet.
Keep moving forward. Edison kept moving forward with the light bulb. That was already created in the spiritual realm. He just kept creating, kept inventing, and kept adjusting, even though he kept failing. But he kept going forward through the weeds, and eventually he came up with the light bulb. And there's many, many stories like that, many, many inventions like that. Every invention's just that same way. Some happen quickly, some don't happen as fast. Most of them happen quickly because in the times that we live in today, there's a whole bunch of things, parts and pieces and frameworks and systems that are already created that now we're in like a critical mass creation of different things because a whole bunch of people have come before us and created many different things. So it's not hard to create your own skateboard because 10,000 people have already created skateboards. So it's pretty easy to duplicate that. So as you go forward, continue to move. Yeah, that's good. We don't need to keep trying to
through the weeds.
Get worse and worse.
We're in the thick of it. We're in the middle of them.
So as you go forward.
But we're keeping our eye on paradise.
As you go forward, walking through the weeds, watch out for all the bugs and lizards and snakes and all kinds of things.
Please don't go there.
We have no idea what's below us, what's going on, what's going down here. So you're about ready to get bit.
Oh, wait.
So as you go forward, keep walking out that in faithfulness to it. Mm-hmm. Faithfulness to what you have as a dream, as a desire in you to go toward. That's your richness. And continue to dream big, dream about it, continue to articulate it. The dreams you have are just the fumes of what's in you that's designed for you to navigate you toward that thing, whatever that is. So try not to look at it from time and money, because time and money are going to tell you it's not possible.
Yeah.
Look at it from a perspective of what's in your heart. Look at it from a perspective of what invigorates you and what makes you come alive. Look at it from a perspective that you are rich. You have to figure out how to get the resources for it. When you were a kid, 18 years old, getting out of high school, 19-year-olds, 20-year-old, you figured out how you were going to do everything that you're doing now, depending on how old you are, 5 years later, or 10 or 20 or 30, 40 years later, depending on who's listening to this video right now, you figured out how to go toward what you wanted to experience. Now let's look at how do you want your life to actually really look that lines up with your dreams. And when you begin to see the fumes or the fragments of those dreams and you begin to put that together and you begin to articulate what that is and put it on paper or sticky notes on your wall or in a journal, and you begin to continue to open that up. We call that the treasure chest. Open that treasure chest and unlock it and see what's inside that treasure chest.
The beauty.
Continue to do that, and that's the beginning of releasing that richness. As you open that up and articulate it, you begin to see
all the richness,
the turbine of the jet. Now I'm saying that because I'm relating it to fumes. When you look at the back of a jet that's getting ready to take off, you see the fumes, the waves. You see the waves of the fuel of the exhaust coming out of the turbine. And so as you begin to see those fumes, which are your dreams, all of a sudden you start to see the turbine. And then all of a sudden you start to see that it's connected to a wing or a tail. And then pretty soon you see the fuselage and the cabin and the cockpit and the nose and the wheels and the landing gear and all that. And pretty soon the dream is manifested into a tangible physical thing. So we want to just help you to continue to dream big.
Yes.
Don't let the weeds bog you down. Don't let the weeds get you stuck or feel like you're stuck. The only reason why you feel like you're stuck is because you're staring at the weeds, and we're not helping you to not stare at the weeds because we're showing you a whole bunch of weeds. So let's just spin around.
We'll show you where paradise is, where we've been.
Let's just go to paradise right here. Let's just flip it.
Not too far.
Let's just flip it.
Back to us?
Yeah. Let's just flip it. So now, look how quick that transition is. Now we got a whole different viewpoint of what we're looking at and what we're experiencing, because we're at one of the greatest lakes that's within 2.5 hours of where we live. So we enjoy it. We love coming here. But this is easy to get. This is free. We can pretty much free. A little bit of gasoline and food and camping and all that stuff. So, but going toward the thing that really makes you come alive.
Sorry, there's something on the screen.
Is the most important part of your paradise or your prosperity. So just wanted to leave you with that and inspire and invigorate you to come alive in that and be catch fire, catch a skip in your step. That life is worth living and life is worth going toward what really is inside you, what was created in you. It's your navigational system that guides you to it. But most of the time, the vast majority of people do not go toward it. They start heading toward it, but they get
stuck in the weeds.
Stuck in the weeds, derailed and sidetracked into the weeds. And so we just want to encourage you to get out of the circumstances and look toward what you could be experiencing. I'm trying to show a better picture of what you could be experiencing. And that's just a glimpse of what it could look like. It doesn't look like lakes and beaches and the mountains and the wonders of the world. What it looks like is the life you truly want to experience, the memories you want to create, and how you want that to work for you, how you want it to flow powerfully in your life so that you're on the front side of that wave of life and experiencing really the abundance of life that you truly want to experience.
We're going to enjoy the rest of the time at the lake. Later.
See you later.